What was her prayer? Just off the top of your head, what do you think her prayer was? Need something to eat, right? She didn't need no money, right? No, she wouldn't have been praying for money in that hour because they were in a famine. So if I got money, it ain't going to do me no good because I can't buy nothing. Lord have mercy. So what do I need at this time? The very thing she needs, God sent it. Way over yonder, here come a big husky man who's been eating bread and meat down by the brook 2 times a day. And he walks into her life. Now, was that what she praying for? She been praying for food. My boy gonna die. That's what I'm just thinking. That's what I'm thinking. She been praying for food. And the man of God walks up. And he asks her for some water. And she goes to get the water. And then he asks her for a cake. Now it's kind of tough. Because I've been praying for this stuff. This is the last stuff that I got left that I've been praying for. And he's asking me for the very thing I've been praying for. Y'all ain't never had that happen, have y'all? You're praying for something, and God sends somebody to ask for the very thing that you've been praying for, and the last of the very thing you got left. So the thing is, when God sends the answer, it don't look like meal and oil. Come on, y'all. Again, it don't look like, that man don't look like meal and oil. He's a human being. But he's got something in his mouth. And this is what he has. Thus said the Lord. Go do what I say first. And your meal barrel not going to run dry, and neither shall your crucible oil fail till the Lord send rain on the earth. So the answer wasn't in his pocket, it was in his mouth. And whether you think, this must have been some kind of amazing. Really, when I sat back and looked at this mirror, it had to be some kind of amazing because, all she got is a little bit of meal in her barrel, a little oil in her cruse. And to go back to that barrel every day and to pull meal out of that barrel, where did it come from? He didn't bring it with him. He didn't bring no oil with him. Matter of fact, God had already told me that he's coming out here so I could sustain him. So he don't have the stuff with him. Where is it coming from? Foreign aid. The only way I can get foreign aid, I got to be obedient. If anybody ever wrote a grant, then you got to follow the guidelines. If you don't follow the guidelines or be obedient, they can kick your papers out. And here you waiting on something from the grant people and they done threw your stuff out. And you call on telephone and say, I ain't heard nothing from y'all. Well, it wasn't right. You didn't follow the guidelines. See, obedience is a big part. And when we want to do it our way, we mess it up. And I'll stop with this here. I'll let you go. So, Jesus prevented Peter. And he says, Peter, he says, we're going to use foreign aid this time. Peter, what you do? What are you? What did I find you doing when I met you? I'm a fisherman. What did I tell you? I'm going to make you fishers of men. He says, tell you what. Man, this story is so electrifying. He says, I want you to go down to the sea. And I want you to throw your hook in the water. Read the story. He didn't tell Peter to put no bait on it or anything. He said, throw the hook in the sea. He had no doubt that Peter was going to hook a fish. Now, don't make sense to me, Terry. I'm a fisherman, and I know that you got to put some bait. You got to put something on that hook. A fish is just not going to just swim up and say, oh, that hook look good, and I'm going to hook myself. You see that word? You know, the thing is, when foreign aid kicks in, I guarantee you it's got to be some kind of obedience, and you will have to have pleased the nation that you're getting it from. How do you know that? Because in St. Matthew, the 3rd chapter, it says that a dove descended upon him, or the Spirit descended upon him in the form of a dove, and said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. So don't think that you're going to do it your way and get foreign aid. You got to do something that makes him, that pleases him. For the scripture says this here: when a man's ways please the Lord, he make his enemies to be at peace with him. So, just simply by being obedient, you can walk down through the sea. I'm going to try this someday next time we're out there, Brother Bob, fishing. I'm going to throw my hook out there. Tell the Lord I've been obedient. And the Bible said, man, he hooked something. And I bet it was a fight. Letting him play himself out. Reel in. He ain't got nobody to get the net. Come on, y'all. But he fighting. But he got a promise from the government. He says, the promise is, throw your hook in the water and the first fish you catch. So Peter had no doubt that he was going to get the package. Because the Lord, the government, had already promised him, you're going to catch the fish. And there was a promise on top of that you know, now this make you fight to catch the fish because, you know, in that fish's mouth, the promise is, got some money there. Now, once Peter got the fish on the line, you know, Peter knew everything else was going to line up, because this is improbable that I would even hook a fish without any bait on the line. Now, I know this fish is a miracle fish just by the fact he's on the line. So I can't lose him. So all your skills got to kick in now. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. See, if we think that we just going to sit there, you know, with our cup, so hear my cup, Lord. Fill it up, Lord. No, no, no. Honey, you better work your skills. Come on, just by the fact that you put together, you know, that grant, just by the fact that you filled out that application, just by the fact that you was obedient. And the thing is, that's the key thing. Because you were obedient, then the thing is, you know, foreign aid is on the way. And the thing is, when Peter finally got that fish, played him out, drowned him, he pulls him up out the water. And just like the government said, he found the money in his mouth. He got enough money off of that one fish. Jesus said, now, everybody say, be obedient. Be obedient. See, this is why it's given to the obedient, because, see, if you wouldn't be obedient, first of all, you ain't getting that money. Because first thing you want to go do, you going down to J.C. Penney. You're going to do something totally different than what he told you to do with it. You're getting ready to do something that he didn't promise you, that he didn't tell you to do. So you're going to spend that money some other kind of way. Do what he told you to do. See, this is why foreign aid comes to the one whose government is stable. How do I know that your government is stable? Because you are obedient. You're not trying to pull no punches. You're not trying to hide things. You're not trying to cover up things. But you're obedient and you're open.